But you have to read what they sent you. If you need a minute to clarify, go over and talk to Julie.
Well, David sent it through. I'm just the amendment to the agenda motion is what I'm curious about.
Yeah, adding a closed session to the front of the agenda as item 5A, and then okay. All right. I shall call this meeting to order, the public hearing. And we'll just move into the presenter. Who's joining us to kick things off? Director Mr. Krasinski. Take it away.
Perfect. Let's wait one moment here. All right. Good evening, Mayor and members of Council. The purpose of this public hearing is to enable removal of a municipal reserve designation on one of two Cochrane-owned parcels, which along with the Rocky View School District Division's 30-acre parcel, comprise the Horse Creek Sports Park quarter section property. This report is largely housekeeping item to enable consolidation of a parcel created for the previous location of a high school site at the Horse Creek Sports Park location, with Cochrane's other parcel to reduce potential barriers to timely development and advancement of Council's plans for the site in the future. Over the course of the Horse Creek Sports Park project, there were changes to the design of the site that resulted in a change to the location of the school site. It is important to note that the current location of the school site has already been subdivided out from the subject parcel and transferred to Rocky View School Division, and this file has no impact on the timing of development of the high school site. Let's see here. There we go. The subject parcel and Horse Creek Sports Park is located on Cochrane's northwest municipal boundary, north of the community of Heritage Hills, and bounded by Township Road 262 and Horse Creek Road. Parcel 1 was initially identified as the 30-acre site for the future high school. Accordingly, in 2020, it was subdivided out from the remainder of the quarter section. Following further, more detailed design and planning, it was determined that the storm pond required additional expansion in order to service the needs of the proposed development at the site. As this expansion impacted the future school parcel, Rocky View School Division and Cochrane agreed to relocate the high school location to Parcel 2. In 2024, Parcel 2 was subdivided out from the parent parcel and transferred to Rocky View School Division. Administration requested this public hearing in November to advance removal of the existing MR designation from the former school site to enable consolidation of Parcel 1 with the remainder of the quarter section owned by Cochrane, which is all of the area outside of the areas identified 1 and 2. The slide provides a high-level overview of the milestones and timelines for the Horse Creek Sports Park project and the housekeeping item before you tonight, and how it fits in the previous milestones and decisions. In 2019, the quarter section was annexed into the town of Cochrane for the purpose of providing a future high school site and larger scale sports park. Then in 2020, the initially proposed school site was selected and subdivided. In 2021, during some additional analysis, it was identified that there would be a requirement to enhance the size of enlarge the size of the storm pond. In 2024, the final school site location was subdivided and transferred to Rocky View School Division. And finally, we're here now to complete this housekeeping item to remove the municipal reserve status as part of a cleanup to enable consolidation and remove any potential barriers from how council wishes to see the site develop. In terms of next steps, the municipal reserve designation removal item is not required by a bylaw adoption. The Municipal Government Act requires a public hearing, however, be advertised and held, and then the council, after taking into consideration the representations made at the public hearing, direct a designated officer, such as the Chief Administrative Officer or delegate, to notify the registrar at land titles that the provisions of the Municipal Government Act have been complied with, and request that the registrar remove the municipal reserve designation. The paperwork will then be submitted to land titles along with the consolidation plan for Parcel 1 into remainder of the parent parcel owned by Cochrane. We received 10 submissions during the submission period of advertisement. None of these directly related to the removal of the municipal reserve designation or consolidation of the subject parcel with adjacent Cochrane-owned parent parcel. Rather, the submissions related to predominantly concerns around the hard surface at the Spray Lakes Sawmill Center, as well as the identification of a desire for specific amenities at the site, which is not within the scope of this public hearing that we're here for today. Rather, this is just the removal of the MR designation, which all of those options are still on the table and well within the potential of the scope moving forward to be considered and evaluated and confirmed at a later date. Of course, the recommendation then is just that you receive the public hearing information for consideration and of the removal of the designation and provide direction to administration thereafter. That completes my presentation as the applicant and scheduling of the public hearing. Happy to answer any questions that you have or move on to any questions, concerns, and feedback from the public.
All right, and as this is a statutory public hearing, I do have a few procedural housekeeping items I have to cover before we turn over to council for comments and then to the public. So as was stated, the purpose of the public hearing tonight is to receive input and comments on the Horse Creek Sports Park, the Horse Creek Sports Park former school site municipal reserve designation. I'll outline these procedures and then we'll move on to the comments. Can I first confirm that this was advertised in accordance with sections 606, 674, and 675 of the MGA? All right, excellent. Thank you. And again, before we move over to comments, just to confirm, as the public came in, the public was given the opportunity to add their name to the speakers list. We request that all in attendance who wish to make their comments ensure that they are on the list. It is here. There is still a way to get on the list if you're not on it yet. To ensure that the hearing is conducted in a fair manner, we will abide by the following rules. Typically, there isn't normally a formal presentation by administration for a public hearing, as this is council's opportunity to hear directly from the applicant. But in this case, this is a housekeeping item initiated by our administration, and as such, they gave this presentation. And then as we move into comments, when your name is called, please come to the microphone, face the podium, and state your name and any group or association that you may represent clearly into the microphones, which is recorded for the public record. Each person will be given 5 minutes to make their comments, and 10 minutes if you're representing a formal group of 2 or more people. We appreciate everyone working to keep within that time allotted, and if need be, I will indicate when your time has ended. There will also be a timer up on the screens you can follow. And I ask that everybody remain courteous and respectful, yada yada, and please keep comments to the specific subject matter. Okay, with all that out of the way, council, any questions for clarification? Seeing none, anything else from administration?
No further comments, no.
All right, so let's move to the speakers list from the public. First up, we have Darren Fletcher, an independent member of the community.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Darren. I'm not here to speak about the school. I'm actually here to speak about the Horse Creek project as a whole. So
typically, and I'll look to our administration to confirm the procedural nature of this. Typically, when we have public hearings, because it's a rigid statutory process, we have to keep the comments to the actual decision at hand, just from our legal requirements. And I know everybody up here really wants to hear your comments about the broad nature of the proposal, but in this instance, it's just about the redesignation of the municipal reserve status of the land. And before I turn it back over to you, administration, could you please clarify on what I've just said?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. You're correct. We would be really considering the public hearing was called to consider the removal of the MR designation on this property. It's not a larger discussion about the Horse Creek project itself. However, it would be council's discretion to receive some additional information if they wish.
Sure. So since we've had a member of the public come here to share comments, can we open it up and bend the rules a little bit to give this fine gentleman some time at the podium? Council? Okay, please continue.
thank you.
Sorry.
It was the revised plans, incidentally, that I saw online that put me to write this letter here. So I will be reading from this letter. So again, my name is Darren, and I've been a Cochrane resident for over 28 years. One of the first things I did when I came to town was to join the Cochrane Rangers Soccer Club. Tonight I am speaking as an independent spokesperson for all who play and enjoy the wonderful game of soccer. And so moving on to tonight's topic, the Horse Creek Road Sports Project. I have some deep concerns regarding the most recent revisions to the original concept plan. The original plans indicated a total of 7 soccer fields and 5 baseball diamonds. However, the revised planning is now showing 0 soccer fields and 6 baseball diamonds. My understanding is that phase 1 of the development is now included in the town's 2026 budget funding, and that the detailed designs for phase 1 have already gone ahead. How, I ask myself, can that happen? How did we go from 7 soccer fields allocated to no inclusion at all for soccer? Far too long now, the town has neglected the needs of the soccer community. We have fallen behind our neighbouring towns with the lack of available soccer facilities. Sure, we have the Cochrane Rangers soccer fields, which, speaking as a club member, are our pride and joy. However, these fields are self-funded and maintained by members, and to be frank, the organisation receives very little help from the town. I asked the question, when was the last time a dedicated soccer field was opened in our town? To compound the lack of facility challenges in the soccer community, more recently we saw the decision taken by the town to remove our one and only dedicated indoor turf/carpeted surface and replace it with a very hard poured plastic surface more suited towards racket sports. I've been playing on the carpeted surface since the facility opened some 20 years ago, and in the short time that the new compact plastic surface has been introduced, I have witnessed a substantial increase in soccer player injuries. Primarily, soccer players are unable to run and turn sharply on the new surface or switch direction. More importantly, soccer players are not able to play and move freely without risking a hard fall on the new surface. So what is the solution? Well, here we have an opportunity in the Horse Creek Road project to bring to Cochrane the kind of soccer/multisport year-round covered facility that our community deserves. A facility that will be enjoyed by children and teenagers and adults for generations. In conclusion, we need the town to revise their latest plans for the Horse Creek Road Sports Project to ensure that we include the soccer community. It is imperative that the Horse Creek Road Sports Development allocate a suitable amount of land to facilitate at least 1 outdoor soccer field and land adequate enough to facilitate the building of a soccer/multisport year-round covered facility. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Council, did you have any questions for our speaker? So question I have for administration, as this was a little off topic, because tonight's decision was about the, or not decision, public hearings about the municipal reserve designation. At what point in the public will individuals such as Mr. Fletcher and others have the opportunity to comment on the design of the park as it moves forwards?
Well, Mr. Mayor, if I can clarify, the portion of phase 1 just includes the baseball diamonds. Future phases do include soccer, and the opportunity I've met with these gentlemen last year in January regarding the indoor facility and their desire to have something in that space, which I encouraged obviously to meet with Miss Ambrose. So I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity to explore different options. The only thing I would like to confirm is that the first phase is primarily baseball diamonds, as council has seen, but future phases do include soccer, rugby, and other sports groups that have come to the town. So it's, and certainly then this group, the Rangers, have an opportunity to work with the town, do fundraising, and help us if we're looking at something like a future indoor facility, which is very capital intensive. So those would be my comments. Be happy to work with this group.
So I'll turn over to Councilor Fadego in a sec, but so just to follow up, it sounds as though it's a matter of prioritization in the phases. When would there be an opportunity for the public to share their feedback with council in a public forum like this on the prioritization of diamonds versus soccer versus anything else?
Well, I think, Horse Creek Sports Park has been a long time in the making, and we've had a number of groups, including soccer, provide their comments. Miss Ambrose has worked with the groups, and we've got baseball, softball prioritized, and a lot of that relates to the other item that a lot of people are here for in terms of the original plan, where we were moving some of following the removal of the baseball diamonds, which is no longer occurring at the Fifth Avenue site. There was some desire to have baseball diamonds in place as the first step. But I think there's going to be several opportunities. When we look at the Horse Creek Sports Park, this is a long-term project, and there will be a number of different opportunities through future public hearings and through engagement with administration for different interest groups to prioritize the interests that they're promoting.
Okay, all right, thanks. I'll turn it over to Councillor Federico.
Thank you. I think it was stated that you said that the funding was in this year's budget, but that funding has actually been removed, if I'm not mistaken, or just held off for now.
It's still within the budget, Councillor Federico. That is to complete phase one, but based on some of the work coming forward with the master plan, council decided not to necessarily act on the funding. So it's included in the budget though this year.
Okay, so it is there, but not acting on it.
Councillor Wilson?
Thank you. Without going too far afield on this topic, which isn't what we're here for today, I'd be remiss if I didn't include, Darren, a couple thoughts about when you said indoor soccer or field space. We did learn at the conclusion of last council that offsite levies now allow us to charge for indoor recreation facilities. Number one, which gives us a boost for being able to actually fund the said facility you're talking about, which was exciting news for me. And number two, we just had our Parks and Rec master plan come before council that identified the priority setting of park space and recreation in our community. And if I recall, indoor soccer or field space was in the high priority square of the matrix. So two good signs for the indoor soccer community in Cochrane.
Yeah,
but again,
sure.
I don't want to go too far afield when we're not even here to talk about this subject
No,
itself.
we're not. But I'm just going back to what made me write this letter. That plan that was published, no mention of soccer in there. The revised plan at all.
Right.
Regardless of what was said there.
Yeah, for clarity, it's phase one. So there are several phases to this project.
And the only point I wanted to make was your priorities are heard by council, and I agree it's something that we'll be looking into shortly. And thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being here this evening. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Dawn Ross. If you'd please join us at the podium, state your name, and let us know which groups you are representing.
Thank you. So my name's Don Ross. I'm representing Cochrane Sport Coalition, which is a newly formed group comprised of football, rugby, soccer, and baseball clubs in town. I won't rehash a lot of what Darren said because this is one of our driving forces as well as an indoor facility that's suitable for field sports because we know we lost Cochrane's only field house last year without any concrete plans for replacement. I guess the point I mostly want to make here is to really implore the council and the administration to improve communications with user groups and those clubs that would be most likely to benefit from these facilities. It kind of was a bit surprising to me that some of this phase one had allocations of baseball diamonds or softball diamonds before the master plan was completed, or at least available to view anyway. I searched for it, I saw the 2006 one, but not the current one. So it's surprising to me that these decisions are being made before the full information is taken into consideration. Beyond that, like I said, you've got a great opportunity to collaborate with community groups, user groups, clubs, to not only make sure it's the right facility for the purposes. Okay, we want a facility that's going to be usable for attracting competitive tournaments, competitive games, bringing people to Cochrane instead of having our athletes having to go to Calgary to train and play in their sports, which is happening, and it's happening a lot. Okay, so I just want to make sure that this is like I said, open communications, talk to the user groups, partner with them. You've got fundraising that can be done by these user groups. It's a resource to the town, and it shouldn't be kind of left to the last decision, last opportunity to make. Where, like say, the troubling pattern I see is that decisions are made, and then the council is asking that, or the administration is asking the townspeople about it. I think it should be the other way around. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Before you disappear on us, Councilor McFadden?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for advocating for your group, and congratulations on your new advocacy group. I did want to highlight, and to your point, I fully agree with it, we should do public engagement before we make commitments. So as Councillor Federico had identified, the funding for the ball fields is in the budget, but what council directed in our deliberations was that be held off and not committed to until we see the full results of the sports culture.
And I noted that, can I call it a disclaimer?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I noted that on the website as well, but like I said, why even take that step then of drawing it up?
Yeah. It's just, we're in a weird sync of, the plan's not quite done yet, but the budget process is here. So I certainly hear the viewpoint, and I'm eagerly awaiting that full report, and so that we can share it, and that's going to come back out to the community, and so that we can use that as our discussion point for how we prioritize recreation in our community, because it is an area that we need to focus on, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I don't see anything else. Thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll hope to create more public engagement opportunities moving forward.
Thank you.
Thanks. Last up, Alan Fraser.
Mr. Mayor, Alan Fraser has let us know that he no longer wishes to present tonight.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Last call for anybody in the audience who wishes to speak on the redesignation of the former school site to municipal reserve. Seeing none. Oh, I saw our, did you have something to say? Okay. All right. That is the end of this public hearing. So let's move into